Hello. Today I'm going to talk about ZAP, which is the acronym for Zog's Amazing Program. It's a simple self-actualization system that I talked about in the last episode.
In that episode, I walked you through the 3 steps of the program. I'll quickly remind you of what they are. Step 1 is to identify an activity that you love doing. Step 2 is to formulate an aspiration that's based on that activity. And step 3 is to design a series of projects that will allow you to explore and overcome every obstacle that stands between you and your aspiration. I'll show you what I'm talking about by giving you an example of this program in action. I'll be using myself as the guinea pig, and to get the ball rolling, I'll start off by sharing with you my step 1. My step 1, which is the activity that I love doing most of all, is videography in all its different flavours. I love making documentaries, interviews, animations, special effects, and I love working with music and sound effects. I love the creativity that's involved and the great variety of activities that ensure no 2 days are ever quite the same. My step 2, which is the aspiration that I've set my sights on that's based upon the activity that I love doing, is to become a successful vlogger. Because vlogging is a fantastic way to practice your videography skills as well as your communication skills. It's also a great way to grow your self-confidence, and it's an opportunity to add value to other people's lives. I've given myself 3 years to achieve this aspiration, so by the summer of 2025, I'd like to be a successful vlogger. And finally, my step 3, which is a list of projects that I've created that will help me to get from A to B, from where I am now to being a successful vlogger. When I came to this part of the process, I realised something, which is that I'd made a mistake. Projects weren't the best tool for making progress, not in this case. Why not? Because projects are fixed and leave very little room for interpretation. When you're working within the confines of a preconceived project, there's very little wiggle room to be spontaneous, to work intuitively, or to evolve as a vlogger in ways that weren't previously anticipated. Limitations can help people's creativity in some cases, but I don't think the limitations of fixed projects would have helped in this case. Not when there's a 3-year stretch of time involved and you have very little idea of what's going to happen and change in myself or in the vlog during those 3 years. And so what I did was tweak this 3rd step. I ended up creating a list of subjects for projects. A list of subjects that were specific enough to give me a clear structure to work within, but open enough to allow for interpretation, growth, and spontaneity. It'll all become much clearer as I walk you through the process. So without further ado, here are 11 subjects or projects that I've come up with. Leading a meaningful and fulfilling life. Telling weird and interesting stories. Finding my voice as a vlogger. Tinkering with my studio and workflow. Connecting and working with others. Exploring special effects and animation. Exploring sound effects and music. Speaking spontaneously and unscripted. Sharing YouTube channels and other resources that I think are entertaining and/or empowering. A sandbox for random thoughts, experiments, playfulness and miscellaneous things. And lastly, finding subscribers to watch this channel. And that is all the info I need to transform my life for the better. Whenever I'm in doubt as to what to vlog about, I can refer back to these 11 subject headings and improvise a project or episode based on one of those subject headings. And if I do this in a fairly disciplined way, which means spending at least an hour or 2 every day working on making episodes for this vlog, then the rest is just a matter of rinsing and repeating this simple formulaic process. It's very much like having a map and a compass. The map has a destination marked on it, which is the aspiration that you've set for yourself. It also has waypoints marked on it, between you and your aspiration, which are the projects or the subject headings for the projects that you've chosen. And the compass is your passion that helps to keep you pointing in the right direction. so that when you're in the thick of life and you're getting lost in the little details, you can always refer back to this map to quickly reorientate yourself. It seems to me that having an aspiration is like looking at a mountain that's in the distance and saying, that's where I want to be, standing on top of that mountain. But the mountain is surrounded by a thick forest, and as soon as you enter that forest, which is the forest of your day-to-day activity, it's all too easy to get sidetracked down rabbit holes, or to discover that you've been walking around and around in circles. So having a clear formula to guide you on your journey seems well worthwhile, if not essential, to achieving any degree of success. I told you about my passion, my aspiration, and now my projects, or rather, the 11 subject headings for projects that I've come up with. Perhaps you are exactly where you want to be in life, but just in case you're not, if there's somewhere you'd like to get to, then this system is a simple tool that might help you to get to where you want to be in life. Time will tell if it helps me to get anywhere, but I intuitively feel that it will. That it will give me the guidance and the structure needed to keep me focused and to get me from A to B. That's all for now. In the next episode, I'll probably be delving into one of the 11 project headings that I've talked about in this episode, so you should hopefully start to see this vlog taking shape over the coming weeks and months as I work my way through those. Until then, thanks for joining me, and see you again soon.